What up, my beautiful people? How's everybody doing? Good, I hope. Well, another freshie banger again today. If you want to know what I'm talking about, just stay right there, because this is DB, and I'm about to take you behind the nonsense. So, of course, you guys know I got 5 fragrances from myfragrancesamples.com, and I am a huge fan of Goldfield and Banks Pacific Rock Moss, and I was given a sample of something called Goldfield and Banks Bohemian Lime. Make no doubt about it, the lime is potent. I mean, as soon as you spray it on, you get a blast of lime. But let me tell you something about this. Now, I did not look up the ingredients, and I'm not going to pretend that I know what's in here, because I do not. This is so beautiful. I mean, it really tries to pretend to be like a Ventus, and I know I say that a lot, guys. It's really the only way I think I can explain a lot of the fragrances that I wear, but you know, the lime instead of the lemon, maybe Club Dean the Wheat Intense Man, I think is more or less what it tries to go for. But there's a peppery nuance in here, and it goes really different. Really does start off like Creed Ventus, except limey. It was really limey, which was kind of refreshing though, because I mean, I know like with Club Dean the Wheat Intense Man, you get that real like lemony pledge. This was like a limey pledge. It wasn't so pledgy, you know what I mean? It was really lime. I thoroughly enjoyed this, man. I caught me catching whiffs of myself the entire time throughout the day. Like when I first put it on, it was like 2 hours. I got a 2-hour projection of it. It was just a lot of lime. After that 2 hours and it dried down, it really showed itself. I mean, it really showed what it was wanting to do. I really, like I say, I started noticing some pepper in it, a little bit of the darker notes. There's definitely some woody notes in there somewhere. If there's not, then I'm mistaken. But I was catching something woody, and it just really caught me by surprise. I'm not going to lie. I knew I liked Pacific Rock Moss, but I was like, man, this Bohemian Lime it just don't even sound, it don't even sound that intriguing, you know what I mean? It didn't really, to me, sound like something that DB would wear. But I'm like, man, you know, I got to give it a try, something to wear today. And I was very late for work. I made it just in time, so I hurried up and sprayed this on because it was right there. So anyhow, I got 9 hours longevity out of it. It was just one of those fragrances, guys, that, I mean, really will catch you by surprise, especially if you don't like freshies like me. I'm not a freshie guy. I am not into summer frags for the most part, but this one really caught me by surprise. I just felt like the way that it just did its thing. It just transformed. And I've said it on my videos hundreds of times. I love it when a fragrance starts like something else and hits those stages. I don't like a fragrance to stay like something and then just dry down, be a dry down toner version of the projection. This one here projected almost into a lime, and then like I said, it hit a peppery, woody, and then you could still smell the lime in there, kind of like a margarita type lime. You know what I mean? Just blasty. I mean, it was just so nice. So this full bottle worthy for me, guys. I can't tell you. I'm surprised. I'm almost at a loss for words, except I just really like it. I'm really starting to like this Goldfield and Banks, especially Pacific Rock Moss and now Bohemian Lime. I just, you know, maybe it's a house I need to start getting into and starting to get a lot more fragrances from the house. So I really don't know what else to say, except it really caught me by surprise, and it's a very pleasant surprise. So if you guys like freshies and you kind of like how Club Dean the Wheat Intense starts off real lemony. Just forget the pledgy part, but real lemony. This would almost start off that way, except real limey. So, but after that 2 hours, it definitely goes in a whole different direction. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance, man. I loved smelling myself. I'm not lying at all. I had it on my wrists, and when I sweat, my armbands. I wear armbands, like I say, to hide my tattoos, but also to keep my hands from getting soaking wet because I sweat. And the fragrance must have gotten into the armband. Oh, and every time I went up here to wipe my sweat, I could just smell it, and I was like, yes. It was one of those days I was like, I don't mind sweating. I get to smell my fragrance. I know it sounds crazy, guys. I don't know. Call me weird. It's all right, man. So anyway, guys, I got a whole lot of stuff coming, man. I just don't, I wouldn't call myself a fragrance addict, man, but every single time I think, because I hadn't bought anything for 3 weeks for the most part, just little tiny samples and stuff. And I'm at it again. I got a Bodacia the Victorious coming. Next week I'll have it. So back to buying, guys. So anyway, glad you guys can spend a few minutes with me, man. I just took you behind the nonsense. Y'all have a good one.